Okay, engine displacement. The volume that is being moved by the stroke of the piston is calculated, the bore times stroke. The volume change from bottom dead center to top dead center is typical ratio. Give you a ratio. In this case, it's 10:1. But sometimes when somebody does a valve job and they cut the head or mill the head or shave the head, anything you want to call it, they cut the head too much. When they cut the head too much, it increases the compression ratio. Alright? And that can cause problems. So when the head is cut too much, the compression ratio can go up and cause other types of problems. And in some cases, let me show you the head. Oops. Oh, come on, where's the head at? Oh, boy. Here's the head. And sometimes what happens is, if you shave this too much, you will increase the compression ratio. Right? Especially when somebody does a valve job. Now I also have seen cases when the head was cut so much it ran hot or pinged, right? Because the compression ratio went up so much. So a mill head, shaved head, or cut head can raise the compression ratio. It can also cause the car to ping, and in some cases cause it to run slightly hot. Now we're talking about engine running hot. Let's go to the coolant system. Let me find the coolant system for you. Automotive cooling system. It has a radiator, water pump, engine block, and cylinder head, thermostat, and bypass heater core, coolant recovery tank, expansion tank, and coolant and plumbing system. Here's the complete system. You got the radiator, the hoses, expansion tank, lower radiator hose, the fan clutch, the water pump, the block water jackets next to the piston, heater core inside the passenger compartment, blower motor for the heater core, hoses to the heater core. This is basically a complete system. Look, this is the complete system to give you an overview of it. That's it right there. What's a thermostat? Can't see it. Thermostat is right here. There's a thermostat here. Here's the radiator. Once the engine reaches normal operating temperature, the coolant is forced to the radiator to help be cooled off, as you can see here. And keep in mind, the radiator cap is just as important. A lot of people forget about the radiator cap. It's just as important. Belt driven water pumps. The water pump circulates the fluid, the coolant through the engine. You can see a water pump here also in the old style. Timing belt, tensioner, and here's the water pump on this one. Remember that pushes the water through the system. It's another type of water pump. Volkswagens. It's an electric water pump. Coolant jackets. A coolant jacket right next to the pistons. Right here. To help keep the piston, all the reciprocal motion this piston is doing draws heat. Its job is to help keep it cooled off. I forgot let me tell you something about the water pump. A water pump, when it goes defective, the car can overheat. Also, it overheats. The radiator doesn't get no coolant. The heater core, no coolant to the heater core. Okay, like I said, a water pump that's defective could cause the car to overheat. It also could cause no coolant to the radiator or heater core. Here's the coolant circulation passage. It's showing you the circulation of the coolant flowing into the radiator and being cooled off. Here's the cylinder block, along with the water jackets next to the piston to help keep it cooled. Bypass holes here and coolant passages from the head to the block. A defective thermostat can cause the car to run cold, run hot, or if it's stuck open or missing, cause the mill light to come on. Here's the operation when it's closed. The thermostat operation is closed. It's the inlet. It bypasses back to the motor and to the heater circuit. When it heats up, it goes to the radiator and to the heater core. You got your bypass hoses. Sometimes I add like a safety device. Bypass hose here also. Electrical control. Thermostat bypass. There's your thermostat here. Sensing element, housing. Heater circuit. You got your radiator. Going through the radiator, by the time you get down, it's cooled again. Then you got the hot coolant going to the heater core, which looks like this inside the passenger compartment. Okay, then we got your heat control valves, fans, cooling fans, direct fans, viscosity fan, electric fans. Here's your direct fans to help remove the heat, blow the heat off the radiator. And viscosity fan with a temperature sensor to engage the fan when you get a certain temperature. Electric cooling fans, a switch that either goes to a switch in a relay or a switch to the computer to turn the fans on at a certain temperature. That's another look at it. The electric control clutch. Coolant recovery systems. Recovery bottles, expansion tanks. Recovery bottles usually tell you the level of the fluid, of the system. The coolant level. It's another setup. Don't use glass, it'd be a bad thing. Always use the proper coolant also. Most cars are 50-50 mix. Here's the plumbing of the coolant system. You got the radiator. The one thing I did not say about the radiator, it can get restricted. The radiator can get restricted in one spot, called a hot spot. And you probably won't notice a severe overheating, or maybe a slight increase. When it gets restricted in one spot, it's called a hot spot. You can have a single cylinder overheating called a passage too, a water jacket passage. That's called a local overheat. And keep in mind also, a coolant level or coolant problems, overheating, staying open, can cause AC, CO, and NOx to go up. Here's some internal overheating issues. An engine can overheat without noticeable cooling system issues like cavitation, local overheat. It's like a single cylinder. External overheating, from the radiator or hot spots in the radiator. Let's see. Coolant flow issues, no flow, no heat or engine outlet temperature. 2 or 3 minutes, coolant surge. Thermostat stuck, cause overheating, cause it to run cold. If it's missing, cause the chicken light to come on. Clogged radiator. A clogged radiator can have hot spots. It can cause overheat. Heat okay, outlet temperature hot. Radiator inlet hot. A collapsed hoses at high speed could cause a coolant flow issues. Okay, that's it for this one. Any issues, let me know. This is the last one for the night. It's 12:45. I gotta go to bed. Peace. I'm out. Okay, thanks a lot. That's it. See you in the next round.